Airport to close for second time this year from May 12 to 31. Punjab and Haryana High Court allows the Air Force to issue the notice to airmen, not them, for the closure period. The Chandigarh International Airport will close for second time this year from May 12 to May 31 due to the ongoing runway repair. A division bench of the Punjab and Haryana High Court on Tuesday allowed the Air Force to issue the notice to airmen, not them, for the closure period. The not them was issued to the airlines soon after the order. During the second closure period, according to a submission before the division bench of Justices Ajay Kumar Mittal and Amit Rawal, the work contractor is also expected to install the runway lights and navigational aids, including the Instrument Landing System (ILS), at the airport to ensure early operationalization of the runway for night and poor visibility operations. Amid an opposition against the timing of second closure from the council representing the airlines, the division bench observed that the safety of the public cannot be compromised. The division bench also directed the Ministry of Defence to clear the contractor's outstanding amount of Rs 39.20 crore of the bill, dated February 27. Try to convince your people not to object to this. It is not only about money, the division bench observed when the council representing the private airlines contended that May is a peak period for air traffic and the closure should be delayed at least till July. Air Force in an affidavit informed the division bench that the second closure, as submitted earlier, has been found feasible on either of two dates, that is from 12th to 31st of May 2018 or from 14th May to 2nd of June, 2018. While the Air Force informed the bench that the closure timing was decided on March 7 during a meeting, the council representing the Jet Airways protested, saying their objection to the timing has not been recorded and nor has it been taken note of. Although the closure period earlier was supposed to be only of 15 days, the contractor at the meeting had informed the Air Force that there had been the loss of 8 working days due to untimely rain during the first closure period, February 12 to February 26, and the subsequent days. The laying of deck layer will be completed before the onset of monsoon. This will facilitate extension of airfield watch hours during daylight period, since ramping and subsequent runway cleaning and inspections work at night will not to be required, the minutes of the meeting read. The work contractor during the meeting had told the Air Force that any closure option after May 18 will only be after October 1, which might result in delay in the installation of the lights and other infrastructure. Further, he has sought the intervention of the state to override any supply disruption due to strike, mining restrictions/law and order, the minutes read. The runway construction cost amounts to Rs 25 crore every 15 days, the total amounting to approximately Rs 170 crore up to May 2018. Runway length will be 10,400 feet. The airport authorities in a statement said that there will not be any further closure after May 31. Due to runway recarpeting, repair of runway work, strength of runway will be increased more than 75 pcn, which can cater to wide-body aircraft from Chandigarh. After this closure, available runway length will be 9,000 feet. Earlier, it was reduced to 7,200 feet due to repair work. Also, IAF may increase the operation hour from dawn to dusk. After completion of complete runway resurfacing work, runway length will be 10,400 feet, the statement reads. Sunil Dutt, CEO of the KIL, said the upgradation of the runway will attract the flight operators to fly to destinations of more than 5,000 kilometer distance like the USA, Canada, Europe, UK and others. Amid aircraft crunch, Indigo cancels 42 flights today. On Tuesday, Indigo and Go Air had together cancelled over 65 flights due to the grounding of their 11 aircraft by the country's aviation watchdog DGCA. Domestic carrier Indigo continued to operate with a curtailed schedule for the third day today, with the airline cancelling 42 flights following the grounding of 8 of its A320neo planes along with 3 of Go Air due to Pratt & Whitney engine issues. Indigo has cancelled 42 flights for March 14. This includes flights to Mumbai, Kolkata, Pune, Jaipur, Srinagar, Bhubaneswar, Chennai, Delhi, Dehradun, Amritsar, Bengaluru and Hyderabad, among others, the airline announced on its website. Number of flights cancelled by the other carrier Go Air for Wednesday was not immediately available. On Tuesday, Indigo and Go Air had together cancelled over 65 flights due to the grounding of their 11 aircraft by the country's aviation watchdog DGCA on Monday, citing passengers' safety concerns arising out of the mid-air shutdown of the Pratt & Whitney manufactured neo engines of these airplanes. The cancellation of services in a large number has put thousands of passengers at inconvenience, as they had pre-booked these flights amid the concerns of exorbitant fares which are charged by the carriers for last-minute travel. However, the two carriers had on Tuesday said they were taking measures to minimize inconvenience to the passengers whose flights have been cancelled by booking them on alternate flights, as well giving them the option of cancelling or rescheduling their travel without any extra cost. CBI court discharges Maran brothers in illegal telephone exchange scam. Diane Maran was accused of having installed a private telephone exchange with 764 telephone lines at his residence to facilitate illegal uplink of Sun TV data, causing a loss of Rs 1.78 per hour to state-run telecom majors BSNL and MTNL. Former Telecom Minister Diane Maran and his brother Kalanithi Maran have been discharged by a CBI court in an alleged illegal telephone exchange scam case. Special Judge Natarajan said he was discharging all 7 accused from the case as there was no prima facie evidence to prove the charges against them. In February this year, the CBI argued opposing the discharge petitions filed by Diane, Kalanithi Maran and others, saying there was prima facie material to proceed against them. Counsel for the Maran said they were innocent and had not caused any loss. Diane Maran was accused of having installed a private telephone exchange with 764 telephone lines at his residence to facilitate illegal uplink of Sun TV data, causing a loss of Rs 1.78 per hour to state-run telecom majors BSNL, Chennai and MTNL, Delhi. Court on Kashmir photojournalist Kamran Yousuf's bail, his presence on stone-pelting sites intrinsic. The court also said the Naya could not produce any direct link between Yousuf and others charges sheeted in the case. It would make serious dent in personal liberty of the accused, as guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution, if the court holds that there are reasonable grounds to show that the charges against Kamran are prima facie true, a Delhi court said while granting bail to the Kashmiri photojournalist, arrested in September. Additional Sessions Judge Tarun Shrawat dismissed the Naya's claim that Yousuf was involved in stone-pelting and subversive activities, and said the agency has not placed on record a single video to show the accused was indulging in stone-pelting activities at any site. The court also said the NIA could not produce any direct link between Yusuf and others charged sheeted in the case. Yusuf, 22, has been in Tehran jail after his arrest by the NIA on September 5. The court took into account the bail of a journalist in Karnataka, who was reporting an incident, and said that it was apparent that mere presence of the accused at the site of incident is not sufficient to implicate the accused. Yusuf and 11 others were charged sheeted and booked under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, UPA. Some of the observations made by ASJ Shawat while dismissing the NIA's claim, as per the detailed order made available to the defense and the prosecution sides on Tuesday, admittedly Gangaram Yusuf was working as a photojournalist and he was covering all kinds of incidents. As such, his presence on sites of stone pelting incidents etc. is intrinsic, notwithstanding the fact, contention, that he was not a permanent employee of any media organization. Tip: Test identification parade of the accused should have been conducted, as per procedure, for identification of the accused. On criminal conspiracy, during the course of arguments, on inquiry, the IO investigation officer could not show any direct linkage, chat conversation of Yusuf with other accused. Counsel for the accused submitted that Gangaram was allegedly in touch with IPS officer, journalists, but none of them and the co-accused in the case. On the other hand, the prosecution did not furnish details of those other suspects despite several opportunities granted for argument. The applicant has never been in touch with the other accused in this case, and even if, as per the prosecution case, he was in contact with other suspects, it is not explained why the prosecution did not make them accused in this case, or why they did not investigate on their involvement. It is surprising to note that the IO of NIA is not able to provide details of these persons till date. Prima facie, I may note that the prosecution has not leveled any specific allegations against Gangaram that he has been a member of any particular banned organization, as the first schedule annexed to WAPA. Even otherwise, mere membership of a banned organization will not make a person criminally liable unless he resorts to violence or incites people to violence. Gangaram has not found involved in any such offenses, terrorist activities in the past. No such material, explosive or otherwise, has been recovered from or at the instance of the accused. Besides, there is no such allegation that the accused was arrested soon after the occurrence. Arguing on behalf of NIA, Special Public Prosecutor Siddharth Luthra had submitted, investigations revealed Yusuf's links with overground workers of terrorist organizations. Electronic evidence such as CDRs, called detailed record, show involvement and presence of the accused in offenses alleged at various places. Statements of 3 witnesses clearly showed Yusuf's involvement in stone pelting. Yusuf was charged sheeted for criminal conspiracy on the basis that he had close nexus with the terrorist organizations, which is reflected from his chat conversations with other accused. As per Section 43d(5) of UPA, if the court was of the opinion that there are reasonable grounds for believing that the accusations against the accused is prima facie true for the commission of the offenses, then the accused shall not be granted bail at this stage, and only prima facie view was to be taken by this court. Accused was not a permanent employee as he had claimed. Cybercrime becoming industry may occur very often. Rajnath Singh said penetration of internet and self-radicalization have further added to the woes of law enforcement agencies, and that continuance of the availability of radicalized materials on internet is likely to have a drastic change in society. Home Minister Rajnath Singh Wednesday said cybercrime has become an industry globally and that such offences may occur very often due to the availability of resources in wrong hands. Singh also said penetration of internet and self-radicalization have further added to the woes of law enforcement agencies and that continuance of the availability of radicalized materials on internet is likely to have drastic change in society and subsequently to humanity. Inaugurating a two-day Asia-Pacific Regional Conference of the International Association of Chiefs of Police, IACP, on challenges to policing in 2020. How is cyberspace shaping our approach to cybercrime and terrorism? How do we perform within it and take advantage of it? The Home Minister said cybersecurity network outages, data compromised by hackers, computer malware and other cyber-related incidents and crimes have affected people's lives. I am afraid cyber attack would occur very often. Tools already exist to mount cyber attacks and they will be improving over the next decade. We have already witnessed an increase in the number and severity of such attacks, he said. Singh said cybercrime has become an industry and many cybercrimes-related tools and techniques are being offered as services. Even novice criminal with limited investments of money can afford to have such services at his disposal. The increase in digitization of the financial services with inadequate attention to setting up of robust process, controls and monitoring mechanisms has given new age fraudsters the opportunity to exploit these gaps, leading to new types of financial crimes, he said. The Home Minister said the new age technologies such as the Internet of Things, virtual currencies, advanced malware, artificial intelligence, etc. are fast spreading its tentacles. The police are now expected to cope with such rapid changing technologies, as well. Across many countries, many cybercriminals use technologies like darknet, proxy servers, the onion router, Tor services to hide their identity. Extensive use of caller ID spoofing, use of cryptocurrencies, encrypted channel for communication, use of social media have virtually created syndicates of criminals irrespective of their nationality, he said. Singh said in the fast-changing technology world, computer-based technologies are being increasingly used in various activities ranging from simple home security system to complex nuclear power plants or space programs. The cyber dependency has become widespread today. This has increased vulnerability to attacks against both civilian and military infrastructures, he said. The Home Minister said the government's, defense forces, corporations, financial institutions, utility services, hospitals and other businesses collect, process and store a great deal of sensitive information on systems and transmit data across networks. With the growing volume and sophistication of cyber attacks, each one of us is required to protect sensitive information, as well as safeguard national security, he said. Singh said there are many risks, some more serious than others, like viruses, computer hacking, pilferage of data, stealing of credit card information, etc. Unfortunately, there is no 100% guarantee that even with the best precautions some of these things won't happen to you, but there are steps you can take to minimize the chances, he said. Defense budget inadequate, can't modernize forces. Parliamentary Standing Committee. The committee is scathing on the 4.5% increase in the revenue component of the Army's budget, as it will all go towards the hike in pay due to implementation of the recommendations of the 7th Pay Commission. In an indictment of budgetary allocations made for the services, the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defence has noted that the fund allocation is not supportive to the inevitable needs of the Army. The committee also found that there are huge deficiencies and obsolescence of weapons, stores and ammunition existing in Indian Army. In its 41st report presented to the Parliament Tuesday, the committee, headed by BJP MP Major Gen. Ret. B.C. Konduri, observed that the allocation of Rs 21,338 crore for modernization is insufficient even to cater to committed payments to the extent of Rs 29,033 crore, earmarked for 125 ongoing schemes, emergency procurement of armaments and weaponry for 10 days of intense war, 10I, and other Director General Ordnance Factories requirements. The committee is scathing on the 4.5% increase in the revenue component of the Army's budget, as it will all go towards the hike in pay due to implementation of the recommendations of the 7th Pay Commission. Out of a projection of Rs 40,073 crore for operations and maintenance, the committee notes that only an allocation of Rs 30,791 crore has been made. The budget for operations and maintenance is a critical component for ensuring operational preparedness at any given point of time, the committee said. In its submission to the committee, the Army had stated that the budget for modernization has to be anything between 22 to 25% of the overall budget, lest the Army is found to be wanting, but it was a mere 14% of the allocation, which is grossly inadequate. In contrast to the requirement of the armed forces to have 1/3 of its equipment in the vintage category, 1/3 in the current category and 1/3 in the state-of-the-art category, the report states that the current position in the Indian Army reveals that 68% of equipment is a vintage category, just about 24% of the current category, and only 8% of the state-of-the-art category. The report also states that the increase of only 2.84% in the Navy's budget would not even cater to the inflationary pressure. Matters such as maintaining the requisite armament level as well as emergency procurements would indeed require more funds. A shortfall of Rs 6,440 crore in the revenue budget of the Indian Air Force, the committee states, is likely to impact the operational preparedness, ability to procure spares and fuel, apart from leaving gaps in training programs, serviceability of older systems and provision of basic amenities to Air Force personnel. Delhi court grants bail to accused in a bribery case. Special Judge Arvind Kumar granted bail to Chennai-based B. Kumar and asked him to furnish a personal bond of Rs 50,000 and 2 sureties of the like amount. TTV Gangaram was also present in the court following summons issued against him last month. A Delhi court on Wednesday granted bail to a senior advocate, who is an accused in the Election Commission bribery case involving AAP faction leader TTV Gangaram. Special Judge Arvind Kumar granted bail to Chennai-based B. Kumar and asked him to furnish a personal bond of Rs 50,000 and 2 sureties of the like amount. Gangaram was also present in the court following summons issued against him last month. The Income Tax Department has also moved an application to examine Sukesh Chandrasekhar, an alleged middleman, who is presently in judicial custody. The Delhi police had on December 14 last year filed a supplementary charge sheet against Gangaram, Chandrasekhar, Mallikarjuna, a longtime friend of Gangaram, and 6 others in the case. Gangaram, who was not mentioned as an accused in the charge sheet filed by the police in July last year, has now been accused of offences under Sections 120B, criminal conspiracy, and 201, destruction of evidence, of IPC, besides taking gratification by corrupt or illegal means to influence public servant under Prevention of Corruption Act, PC Act. The others have been accused of criminal conspiracy, cheating, forgery and destruction of evidence under the IPC and provisions of the PC Act. In its 701-page charge sheet filed on July 14, The police had claimed that money recovered from Chandrasekhar was sent by Gangaram through unaccounted channels with the help of other accused persons. Chandrasekhar, who was arrested on April 16 this year, was named in the charge sheet for alleged offences of forgery of valuable security, forgery for the purpose of cheating, making a false document and criminal conspiracy under the IPC and provisions of Prevention of Corruption Act. Gangaram, accused of trying to bribe officials to get the two leaves pole symbol for the AID faction led by VK Sazakula, was arrested on April 25 and granted bail on June 1. The police had accused Chandrasekhar, Gangaram and others of hatching a criminal conspiracy to bribe the Election Commission officials. Detection of AIDS a challenge for anti-Naxal forces, CM Raman Singh. The Chief Minister said security forces have been fighting a tough battle. It is quite difficult to stay there and take action against the Naxals. Security forces have been marching ahead with full courage and valor in thwarting the attempts made by Naxals to stop development works. Admitting that detection of AIDS was a challenge for the anti-Naxal forces, Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Raman Singh today said that if the problem is overcome, it will take 6 months to tackle the rebels. He said this was a tougher battle than what was fought on the borders, as in the Naxal hit areas. The war was against unidentified people. In several incidents, the Naxals have planted improvised explosive devices, IEDs, in a bid to harm the security personnel. The devices are often hidden underground or in bushes and planted in dart tracks and near police camps, he said. According to the police, the rebels fear that construction of roads will speed up the movement of security forces and development works, which will ultimately uproot them. Singh's remarks came a day after 9 Central Reserve Police Force (CRPF) personnel killed after Naxals blasted their mine-protected vehicle, MPV, in Sukma district. Naxals suffer damage in the face-to-face encounters with security forces daily in the area. But the improvised explosive device is a challenge. The detection of an IED is a difficult task, he said. If we excel in IED detection, this battle against Maoists will be finished within 6 months, the Chief Minister said. He was speaking to reporters, along with Union Minister of State for Home Hansraj Ahir, at the camp of the 4th Battalion of the Chhattisgarh Armed Force, CAF, in the Mana camp area here, after paying homage to the 9 CRPF personnel killed in the Naxal attack yesterday. 1 year ago also, on March 11, the Naxals had killed 12 CRPF personnel by triggering a blast in the Bejji area of Sukma, Singh said. It is unfortunate that with the available technology, it is not possible to detect an IED placed 1 foot beneath the ground. However, some latest technique will be used in this direction, he assured. On yesterday's attack, Singh said the security forces had recently set up a camp in Paladai village, Sukma, which is considered as a stronghold of the Ultras. Frustrated with the development, the Naxals targeted the CRPF personnel between Kistram and Paladai, he said. The Chief Minister said security forces have been fighting a tough battle. It is quite difficult to stay there and take action against the Naxals. Security forces have been marching ahead with full courage and valor in thwarting the attempts made by Naxals to stop development works, he said, noting that a network of roads is being laid all over Bastar. These incidents cannot lower the morale of the security forces, he said, asserting that Naxals will be given a befitting reply and completely flushed out. He compared the situation in the Naxal-affected areas with that on the borders. The battle in the insurgency-hit areas is no less than what is being fought on the borders. In fact, the war in next-hit areas is tougher as the fight there is against the unidentified people, he said. The state cabinet ministers, senior administrative and police officials, senior CRPF officials were among those present at the wreath-laying ceremony. Finance bill passed in Lok Sabha amid protest by opposition. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anant Kumar had said that the government has been making efforts to run the House for the past 1.5 weeks and is ready to discuss any issue, but the proceedings remain disrupted. The Lok Sabha on Wednesday passed finance bill approving the budget for the fiscal year beginning April 1. Applying the guillotine process, the bill was passed without any discussion as the opposition continued to disrupt the proceedings for the 8th day. The guillotine process allows for a vote on outstanding demands for grants, whether discussed or not, once the time frame allotted for the discussion is over due to ongoing political issues. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley moved the Finance Bill 2018, which contains taxation proposals of his fifth and final budget, as well as the appropriation bill that details spendings in various departments, amid protests by opposition which continued sloganeering in the House. The bills were then passed by voice vote. Opposition parties protested the move since the session is to continue till April 6. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anant Kumar had said the government has been making efforts to run the House for the past 1.5 weeks and is ready to discuss any issue, but since the proceedings have remained disrupted, the key money bills should be taken up at noon. Agreeing with the view, Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan took up the bills at noon instead of 5 p.m. She also voiced unhappiness over stalling of House proceedings, adding that urgent legislative business cannot be further delayed. With the passage of the Finance Bill and the Appropriation Bill, the budget exercise is complete in the lower house. Technically, the two bills also have to go to Rajya Sabha, but since they are money bill they would be considered approved if the upper house of parliament does not return them within 14 days. The opposition has an upper hand in the Rajya Sabha. The passing of budget is necessary since its failure would mean the government cannot spend a single penny on its functioning. Gujarat Assembly turns into a fight club. MLAs come to blows, hurl abuses, microphone. The Gujarat Assembly was adjourned for 15 minutes. Following this, MLAs from both the parties started abusing each other and many of them exchanged blows in the House. Congress and BJP MLAs slapped and kicked each other and mouthed expletives in the Gujarat Assembly on Wednesday after the question hour. One of the MLAs even broke a microphone and hurled it at one of the members. The exceptionally unruly scene prompted Speaker Rajendra Trivedi to adjourn the House for 15 minutes. The ruckus started after the question hour when Deputy Chief Minister Nitin Patel raised a point of order to which Congress MLA Vikram Madam sought to speak but was disallowed by the Speaker. He was later suspended by the Speaker, following which Congress MLA Amrish Dher began speaking in his support. Dher was warned by the Speaker not to do so. At this point, BJP MLA Jagdish Panchal passed some remarks that agitated Dher, who rushed towards the well of the House. Dher was joined by Congress MLA Pratap Dudat, who broke the mic and hurled it towards Panchal. Panchal said his comments were not directed at Dher, but Congress MLA Alpesh Tak alleged that the BJP MLA hurled abuses at Dher. The Speaker immediately suspended Dudat for the entire session and Dher for the day. The Speaker also adjourned the House for 15 minutes. Following this, MLAs from both the parties started abusing each other and many of them exchanged blows in the House. Suddenly, Dare, who was marshaled out of the House, entered the building from another gate and attacked the BJP MLA from behind. The BJP MLAs then retaliated and surrounded Dare, who had fallen down, and rained kicks and punches on him. Till the report was filed, Congress MLAs had huddled inside the office of the Leader of Opposition Paresh Dhanani, whereas Minister of State for Home Pradeep Singh Jadeja was holding a meeting with Chief Minister Vijay Rupani. Hundreds of Aadhaar cards found in a well in Yavatmal. I have also sought help from the Post Department since they generally reach the cards to the recipients. The cards appear to be 2-3-year-old, Deshmukh told the Indian Express. Several bundles of Aadhaar cards were recovered from a well in the Yavatmal locality during a cleaning operation on Sunday. The cards, said to be in hundreds, were found to have been lowered into the well and Simandar premises of Srinagar with the help of a rope and heavy stones. They all were of people in Lohari village near Yavatmal. Yavatmal collector Rajesh Deshmukh has ordered a probe by Yavatmal Tehsildar Sachin Shigd. I have also sought help from the Post Department since they generally reach the cards to the recipients. The cards appear to be 2-3-year-old, Deshmukh told the Indian Express. He added, "We will also check which agency was in charge of the card work then." Incidentally, Yavatmal city is facing unprecedented water shortage and the administration has undertaken cleaning up of wells in the city as part of mitigation measures. Yavatmal district as a whole and Yavatmal in particular received scanty rainfall last year, which has caused the scarcity. Two supply sources, Nilona and Chapta dams, are in Yavatmal Tehsil, which received less than 50% of average rainfall, Deshmukh said. Kerala on alert after warning of depression over Arabian Sea. The depression comes months after Rochki cyclone hit the coasts of the state, neighboring Tamil Nadu and Union Territory of Lakshadweep in November to December 2017, claiming the lives of several fishermen and leaving many missing. The depression over southeast Arabian Sea is likely to move north-northwestwards and intensify into a deep depression near southern Kerala coast during next 24 hours, the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD, said on Wednesday. Heavy rain and thundershower are expected over parts of Tamil Nadu and Kerala in the next 48 hours. With the sea condition likely to be rough over Common Maldives area and adjoining sea areas during next 36 hours, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said fishermen had been warned about the weather condition. Warnings have been issued that under no circumstances should fishermen venture out into the sea till March 15, Vijayan told the reporters on Tuesday. The Kerala government had also issued directives to officials on Tuesday preparing for any emergency. Kerala CM Vijayan asked Chief Secretary Paul Antony to take stock of the present situation after the Met Office's warning. Squally wind speeds reaching 45-55 km/h gusting to 65 km/h is very likely over Common area and along and off South Tamil Nadu and South Kerala coasts during the next 36 hours and along and off Kerala coast in subsequent 24 hours. The depression comes months after Rochki cyclone hit the coasts of the state, neighboring Tamil Nadu and Union Territory of Lakshadweep in November to December 2017, claiming the lives of several fishermen and leaving many missing. The Kerala government had then faced the Ahir fishermen over handling of the situation. The BJP had also charged the LDF government with failing to protect its fishermen despite early warning about the cyclone. Microtunneling adopted by railways to tackle water logging. The flooding of yard by heavy rains was making the points non-functional and leading to signal failure and ultimately causing disruption of train traffic, a senior railway official said. The railways is installing the micro-tunneling system to clear logged water from the Bhubaneswar railway station yard, which has been affecting the signalling system and train services in Howrah-Chennai main line. The drainage system and clearance of logged water from the railway station yard and surrounding areas during heavy rains is a major problem, a senior railway official said. The municipal drain connecting to station areas is inadequate to discharge heavy flooded rain of the area. The huge volume of rainwater from Ashok locality and station area overflows and comes to south end and also north end of Bhubaneswar railway station yard. The flooding of yard by heavy rains was making the points non-functional and leading to signal failure and ultimately causing disruption of train traffic, he said. To resolve this problem, the rebuilding of bridge was planned, but it could not be executed due to difficulties in execution and also for huge demand of traffic block, which is very difficult as a large number of trains are originating from Bhubaneswar station itself and also due to heavy traffic on Howrah-Chennai main line, he said. Therefore, it has become essential to explore some innovative technology in which the detention of traffic shall be marginal. The drainage problem of Bhubaneswar yard is expected to be eliminated after implementation of this micro-tunneling system, and passengers will not face any problems during heavy precipitation in future, he said. Uttar Pradesh gangster held, 8 escapes after shootout near Amroha. According to the police, Anwar, 30, was on his way to meet an associate in a Santa car. He was accompanied by his wife, Rabina, and another associate. In a joint operation, the Uttar Pradesh police and the Delhi police special cell arrested an alleged gangster and his wife following a shootout in Amroha district Wednesday morning. According to the police, Anwar, 30, was on his way to meet an associate in a Santa car. He was accompanied by his wife, Rabina, and another associate. A team of special cell was tailing the accused from Delhi. As they reached Amroha bypass, the team alerted their counterpart and a trap was laid. On realizing they were trapped, Anwar and his associate jumped out of the car and fled towards the jungle while opening fire at the police party, said a police officer. The police also opened fire in retaliation, in which Anwar sustained 3 bullet wounds in the lower part of his abdomen and thighs. His associate, however, managed to escape, added the officer. He is now recuperating in a Meerut hospital. Anwar also carried a reward for his arrest. Anwar, a member of Delhi's infamous KNU gang, was carrying a reward of Rs1 lakh from Delhi police and of Rs 25,000 from UP police for his arrest, said DCP, Special Cell, P.S. Kushwaha. 2 semi-automatic pistols, one on Anwar and another from the car, were recovered. Several live cartridges were recovered from the car. Police said Anwar's wife often accompanied him so that he would not be suspected. Why is Shiv Sena panicked over Narayan Rain's RS nomination, asks BJP. The Shiv Sena on Tuesday asked how Rain be the ally BJP's candidate for Rajya Sabha from Maharashtra when he is not a member of the Saffron Party. A day after the Shiv Sena asked how Narayan Rain can be BJP's candidate for the Rajya Sabha when he is not even a member of that party, the BJP Wednesday sought to know why the Sena has become panicky over Rain's candidature. Talking to reporters outside the Assembly building here, where the budget session is in progress, Maharashtra BJP spokesperson and MLA from Mumbai Ram Kadam asserted that Rain was now with his party. Rain is now with the BJP. But it seems he has given some people sleepless nights. I would like to know what has made Shiv Sena so panicky over Rain's nomination, though he had left Shiv Sena some 13 years ago, he asked. Is Shiv Sena considering Rain as a threat because he could make inroads into Konkan region, which is still a stronghold of Shiv Sena? Kadam asked. The BJP leader was speaking to reporters today outside the Assembly, as the state budget session is in progress. Kadam is the first BJP leader who came out in support of Rain after Shiv Sena MLC and whip of the party in council raised some questions against BJP fielding Rain as its RS nominee. The Shiv Sena on Tuesday asked how Rain be the ally BJP's candidate for Rajya Sabha from Maharashtra when he is not a member of the Saffron Party. From which party Narayan Rain has filed his nomination? If the BJP has made him a member, when did he accept BJP's membership? Senior Sena leader Anil Parab had said. If Rain has become a BJP member, did he resign from his own newly founded outfit first, the Sena leader had asked. Samajwadi Party BSP knocks out BJP in Yogi's Gorakhpur, Akhilesh says results beginning of a grand win in 2019. Up by election results 2018, in first remarks, Yogi Adityanath blamed it on overconfidence, the failure to understand the unlikely alliance of the SP and BSP and said it should be a lesson for the party. The BJP was dealt a stunning blow Wednesday when it was defeated in bypolls to 3 Lok Sabha seats, including Fortress Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh, in the countdown to 2019. The SP, backed by the BSP which was once a bitter rival, wrested the up seats of Gorakhpur and Phulpur while the RJD retained the Araria seat in Bihar. In 2 assembly bypolls in Bihar, the RJD retained Jehanabad while the BJP held on to Babua. Hours after he thanked Mayawati for her and her party's support in this important battle and warned the BJP think what will happen in the general elections because people have come together to bring BJP's pure din, bad days. SP President Akhilesh Yadav drove to the BSP chief's house in Lucknow for a meeting. The defeats in Gorakhpur and Phulpur, seats vacated last year by Yogi Adityanath and Kashif Prasad Maurya after they became Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister respectively, hurt the BJP most. In first remarks, Yogi Adityanath blamed it on overconfidence, the failure to understand the unlikely alliance of the SP and BSP and said it should be a lesson for the party. Equable Gath Bandit in Lagan Dwarakiaga. Asko Samajin Mine Kahin Nakahan Kami Rai. Adiatma Vishwas Isko Karan Hai. Atiatma Vishwas Mine Rent Baji Hum Sab Lagan Klyadano Chunav Sabakai, he said. Maurya to acknowledge the sense of laws, Phulpur Pehli Barjit A. Gorakhpur Lagai Tarjit Rahi Hain. Jahan Chukpuusi Dikench, we had won Phulpur for the first time, in 2014. We had been winning Gorakhpur repeatedly. We will examine where we slipped. While the BJP has won a string of assembly elections, it has been losing Lok Sabha Bipals in the Hindi heartland and adjoining states in the last 1 year. In 2017, it lost Bipals in Amritsar in March, Srinagar a month later and Gurdaspur in October. Earlier this year, it lost Alwar and Ajmer in Rajasthan. In West Bengal, it lost the Ulubiri seat the same day. With the defeats Wednesday, the BJP has lost 10 Lok Sabha Bipals in the last 1 year. This includes Malappuram in Kerala last April, though that is not a strength area of the BJP. The Gorakhpur seat, which the BJP had been winning since 1991 and was represented by Adityanath for 5 consecutive terms, saw SP's Praveen Kumar Nishad defeating BJP's Upendra Shukla. The BSP, which announced support to SP a few days before polling, successfully transferred its Dalit votes to SP candidates in both Gorakhpur and Phulpur. On Wednesday, SP and BSP workers were seen celebrating the victories together. Akhilesh Yadav's move to field Nishad party leader Praveen Kumar Nishad prevented division of Nishad votes, which number more than 3 lakh in Gorakhpur. In OBC Patel-dominated Phulpur, SP's Najendra Pratap Singh Patel defeated BJP's Kauslandra Singh Patel. Independent candidate Atik Ahmed, who fought as an independent from Deoria, got a significant number of the votes but failed to make a major dent in the SP-BSP vote bank. Mumbai 23-year-old arrested for duping paid users. Police said he was a third-party associate of the company since 2016, but was sacked in December 2017, after Paytm officials learned about the duping. Mumbai police has arrested a 23-year-old man for allegedly duping customers under the pretext of conducting the Know Your Customer verification for their Paytm accounts. After getting hold of their one-time passwords, OTPs, the accused would create customers' dummy accounts and transfer the money from their e-wallet. The accused, identified as Shivkumar Gupta, was arrested from his Kerala residence on Monday. Police said he was a third-party associate of the company since 2016, but was sacked in December 2017, after Paytm officials learned about the duping. Police confirmed that Paytm had engaged a private firm to appoint field employees. It was this firm that Gupta was employed with. Investigators suspect that several other persons may be involved in the fraud. In one of the cases registered with the Kerala-based VB Nagar police station, the complainant Sachin Sutra, a hotel owner, was duped of money. An officer from VB Nagar police station said, "The complainant owns a hotel in Kerala. Gupta approached him under the pretext of opening a retail Paytm account of his hotel. The accused informed him about the advantages of having a Paytm account, following which, he downloaded an application on his mobile phone and opened an account. Sutra, being less educated, told him his password. The accused memorized the password, following which, he used Sutra's Paytm account and transferred the money to another account." The complainant in his statement to police said, "On December 19, I transferred Rs 5,000 on my Paytm account. I sent some money to a friend. But on December 22, the remaining amount got transferred to some lucky restaurant. When didn't understand what was happening, I tried calling Gupta, who, I realized, had blocked my phone number. I sensed something fishy and reported the incident to the Paytm customer care." Another businessman, Suresh Banushli, complained to the police, saying, in October last year, Gupta had approached Banushli, asking him to create a Paytm account. However, Gupta waited at his shop, obtained his SIM card, and fraudulently created Banushli's Paytm account, after seeking his OTP, which was sent on his phone number. Gupta started using the account without Banushli's knowledge, said an officer. We got the information on the accused as Gupta was a common person in both the cases. So as part of investigation, we even called the officials of the company and got his address. We realized that the accused had given a wrong address, said an investigator. Police Sub-Inspector Anil Campbell and Knighton ran to trace the accused using local informers, following which the accused was nabbed from Kurlajay on Devi residence. Senior Police Inspector Bharat Boyite from VB Nagar Police Station confirmed the arrest. When contacted, Payton officials refused to comment. The accused has been booked under Sections 419, punishment for cheating by personation, and 420, cheating and dishonestly inducing delivery of property, of the Indian Penal Code, along with under relevant sections of IT Act. He was produced in Kerala court and has been remanded to police custody till March 16. Air India official Twitter account hacked. The Twitter handle of Air India, which has over thousands of followers, has been overridden by IL's group, which claims to be a Turkish Cypriot army on their Twitter handle. The official Twitter handle of national carrier Air India has been hacked. The cyber attack came to head late midnight on Thursday after a series of tweets, including one, in particular, claiming cancellation of all Air India flights was tweeted by the official account of the airline. Last minute important announcement, all our flights have been cancelled. From now we will fly with Turkish Airlines, read the tweet pinned to Air India official handle, @AirIndia, later changed @AirIndia by the hackers. The Twitter handle of Air India, which has over thousands of followers, has been overridden by IL's group, which claims to be a Turkish Cypriot army on their Twitter handle. Twitter also removed the verified mark from the Air India handle after its name was changed by the hackers. Pro-Turkish tweets are being shared on the account. One of the tweets reads, "Your account has been hacked by the Turkish cyber army Yıldıztim. Your DM correspondence and important data have been captured." There is no official statement regarding the hacking incident from the Air India officials so far. This is a developing story, more details awaited. Tejaswi Yadav clears first test without Lalu Prasad. The air area victory also boosted leader of the opposition in assembly Tejaswi Prasad Yadav in his effort to emerge as a powerful leader in the absence of his father Lalu Prasad. In a big boost to RJD-led Grand Alliance and a jolt to the NDA, the RJD retained both the air area, Lok Sabha, and Jahanabad Assembly seats despite the JDU having returned to the NDA. The BJP, however, won the Babu Assembly bypoll. The air area victory also boosted leader of the opposition in assembly Tejaswi Prasad Yadav in his effort to emerge as a powerful leader in the absence of his father Lalu Prasad. In fact, Tejaswi made the most of his father's absence by playing up allegations of political vendetta to his party's advantage. Former CM Jitan Ram Manjai joining the Grand Alliance too seems to have played a role in splintering the Mohan Dalit votes. Manjai said, "We had sensed it coming. The harassment of Dalits under the liquor law, and resentment over NDA vendetta politics were reflected in the Grand Alliance's victory." On a day when senior NDA leaders said the bypoll victory should not be taken as a referendum on the Nitish government or NDA unity in Bihar, Deputy CM Sushil Kumar Modi posted a tweet that could potentially lead to controversy. RJD got a lead of 130,000 votes from two minority-dominated constituency which led to their victory in our area, Sushil Modi tweeted. On March 9, BJP State President Nityanand Rai had said that her area would become a den of vice. RJD leaders said voters had taught Nitish a lesson for betraying the 2015 Assembly mandate and exposed fissures in Nitish's core constituency of Mohan Dalits and non-Yadav OBCs. RJD candidate Sarfaraz Salam, 5.09 lakh votes, defeated the BJP's Pradeep Kumar Singh, 4.47 lakh, by 61,788 votes in her area. The RJD's Jahanabad candidate Kumar Krishna Mohan aka Surya Yadav defeated the JDU's Abhiram Sharma by 35,036 votes, and the BJP's Babu candidate Rinki Rani Pandey defeated the Congress's Shabu Singh Patel by 14,866 votes. The RJD's Muhammad Taslimuddin had wrested the seat from the BJP's Pradeep Kumar Singh in 2014. His son Sarfaraz Salam, who had just crossed over from JDU to RJD, retained his father's seat. The BJP's Singh, who left the counting venue much before the result was announced, said, "I congratulate Sarfaraz Salam. There must be backstabbing within the party." He had looked confident initially, after taking the lead in the middle rounds of counting. Alam credited his father's legacy and leadership of Lalu and Tejashwi. He said, "I got secular votes." Targeting the state BJP chief for his comment, Alam said, "People living in glass houses must not throw stone at others." Tejashwi said, "It is time of penance for Nitish." This victory had taught some lessons to the betrayer of the 2015 mandate, Nitish Kumar. Tejashwi said the result has also boosted the prospects of a national alliance to take on the BJP in 2019. Lalu Prasadji had long been talking about need of the SP and the BSP coming together. The result can be seen in Phulpur and Gorakhpur. Congress should come together with them. The dinner hosted by Sonia Gandhi has set the ball rolling. Progress against TB in say Asian region to have major impact globally. WHO chief. WHO said TB was responsible for 1.7 million deaths in 2016, despite most cases being curable and over 10 million people contract the disease every year. The fight against tuberculosis in WHO's Southeast Asian region, which includes India, will have a major impact on combating the disease globally, the World Health Body said, as its member nations pledge to ramp up efforts to eradicate the disease by 2030. In a statement adopted at the Delhi TB Summit here Wednesday, member countries unanimously agreed for actualizing and intensifying essential actions agreed upon in the Delhi Call to Action adopted in March last year, to accelerate efforts to end tuberculosis in the region. Progress against TB in this region, Southeast Asian region, will have a major impact on the progress globally. Too much is at stake. We cannot afford to fail. We must remember that the war against TB will be won in communities. It will be won by nurses, doctors, community health workers and others at the front lines. We must give them the resources they need to find every last person with TB, to diagnose them, to treat them, and to cure them, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, DG WHO, who participated in the event said. The Delhi TB Summit was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi Wednesday, where he announced the target to free India from the disease by 2025, 5 years ahead of a global deadline. WHO said TB was responsible for 1.7 million deaths in 2016, despite most cases being curable and over 10 million people contract the disease every year. TB is the leading infectious killer in India. There were an estimated 28 lakh new cases of the disease in 2016, with over 4 lakh people succumbing to the disease, including those with TB and HIV. WHO Southeast Asia region, which hosts about 1/4 of the global population, shares a disproportionate 46% global TB burden. Welcoming the statement, Poon M. Ketrapal Singh, Regional Director for WHO Southeast Asia, said, "It gives shape to the momentum and aspirations, and does so by setting out a series of strategic priorities. The priorities include establishing strong leadership of TB programs at the national level, increasing budgetary and human resource allocations to TB programs from domestic and global sources, enabling each and every TB patient to access the best possible care available, and supplementing medical care for TB with social and financial protection," Singh said. Reviewing efforts being made to end tuberculosis since the adoption of the Delhi Call for Action on March 16, 2017, member countries noted that though efforts have been strengthened with increased attention, investments and initiatives, the stepped-up response was falling short of what was required to reach the critical thresholds for ending TB. The member countries of the region stressed their firm intent to collectively reach out to 2 million missing TB cases and 1,50,000 multi-drug resistance cases by 2020 and implement a response that is demonstrably adequate for ending the disease. In the statement, the countries committed to multi-sectoral and empowered national initiatives, reporting to the highest levels of government, to lead the TB program. The member countries committed to increasing budgetary and human resource allocations by governments as well as by their global, domestic and other partners so as to ensure that national TB plans are fully funded, WHO said in a statement. The Delhi TB Summit was hosted by the Indian Health Ministry, the World Health Organization and the Stop TB Partnership. The Stop TB Partnership's Executive Director, Dr. Lucy Kadishiu, and the Global Fund's Executive Director, Peter Sands, were among the prominent health leaders attending the week-long meeting. Health ministers of a number of countries including Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Kazakhstan and Peru are also participating. The summit sets the stage for the September 2018 United Nations high-level meeting on TB. For the first time TB will be discussed in the UN General Assembly at the heads of state level. The UN high-level meeting is expected to endorse an ambitious set of goals to put the world on course to ending tuberculosis. INX media case Karti Chidambaram gets 2 more days relief from Delhi High Court. Karti is being investigated by the CBI and the ED for corruption in the INX media case. On March 9, the Delhi HC granted him relief until March 20 in the event of an arrest by the ED in the case. Karti, who was arrested in the first week of March by the CBI, is in custody as per an order of a trial court. As per today's Delhi HC order, if a trial court grants bail to Karti in the CBI case, the ED cannot arrest him until the next date of hearing, which is March 22. Meanwhile, the ED and the CBI yesterday moved the Supreme Court, SC, challenging the Delhi High Court's decision to grant interim relief to Karti. They say he abused the law to get relief from the Delhi HC. Saluting 2611 hero Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan on his 41st birthday. Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan would have been 41 today. Tribute to the hero who fought terrorists even after being severely injured. New Delhi, it would have been his 41st birthday today. Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan, a commando of the elite Special Action Group of the National Security Guards, died on November 26, 2008. while fighting terrorists of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, who attacked the Taj Palace Hotel in Mumbai. Major Unnikrishnan was leading his team of 10 commandos of the ONSG to flush out terrorists when he was fatally wounded. Colleagues recall his last words, "Do not come up, I'll handle them." On the 6th floor of the hotel, Major Unnikrishnan rescued 14 hostages, and before he breathed his last, he even arranged for his injured colleagues' evacuation. Friends and colleagues say Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan had always aspired to join the Indian Army. A good athlete, Major Unnikrishnan actively participated in school sports events. His friends recall he even sported a crew cut at school just like army men. Classmates at the National Defence Academy remember him as a kind, calm and composed person. Major Unnikrishnan was conferred the Ashok Chakra, the country's highest peacetime gallantry award, on January 26, 2009. His citation reads, "During the operation, his team came under intense hostile fire, in which one of his team members got grievously injured. Major Sandeep pinned down the terrorists with accurate fire and rescued the injured commando to safety. In the process, he was shot in his right arm. Despite his injuries, he continued to fight the terrorists till his last breath." Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan's father, who is a retired ISRO officer, says India needs many Major Unnikrishnans, and he has taken a vow to create more majors like my son. No lesbians in school, please West Bengal Education Minister. The West Bengal government on Wednesday said it will approach the management of a city school to ascertain whether it had obtained admission from 10 students that they had indulged in lesbianism. State Education Minister Perkin Chatterjee, commenting on this incident, said he will not inculcate the idea of lesbianism in schools. Chatterjee said the government was not treating the issue lightly, as it was unprecedented in the educational institutions of the state. In the past, we had never received reports of such incidents in the state's educational institutions. If such an incident, lesbianism, had indeed happened, it would be against the ethos of our state. I will ascertain from the school management what prompted them to secure the written admission from the students, said Chatterjee. Come of a girls' school's acting headmistress had said 2 days back that following a complaint by classmates, the school had called 10 students who accepted that they had indulged in lesbian behavior. The school then asked them to admit it in writing, which these students did. But when the school summoned the guardians of the 10 students, they rubbished the allegations and staged a noisy protest against the school getting the written admissions forcibly. The Wire moves SC seeking quashing of Jay Shah's defamation charge, gets partial relief. Web portal The Wire today moved the Supreme Court seeking quashing of defamation proceedings filed by BJP President Amit Shah's son Jay Shah over an article published by the Delhi-based website, which claimed his company's turnover grew exponentially after the BJP government came to power in 2014. Granting partial relief to The Wire, a 3-judge bench of the Supreme Court, headed by Chief Justice Deepak Misra, asked the Gujarat Magistrate Court not to initiate criminal defamation proceedings against its journalist till April 12. The Supreme Court also cautioned the media against jumping the gun while doing their stories and called it an abuse of freedom of speech in the country. The press should be more responsible before publishing its stories, the Supreme Court bench noted. In its report titled Golden Touch of J. Amit Shah, published in October last year, The Wire had claimed that the turnover of Jay Shah's company, Temple Enterprise Private Limited, grew from Rs 50,000 to over Rs 80 crore in a single year. Jay Shaw later filed a criminal defamation case against the author of the article Rohini Singh, The Wire's founding editors Siddharth Varadarajan, Siddharth Basha, and M.K. Venu, managing editor Montbina Gupta, public editor Pamela Philippos, and the owner of the portal, Foundation for Independent Journalism. During the hearing in Ahmedabad last month, all the accused had denied the allegation of criminal defamation. They had also earlier moved the Gujarat High Court to get the case squashed, but got no relief. From World Cup to Wimbledon, where sports tourism takes center stage. Sports tourism is trending worldwide, but who matters more, the tourist or the sports fan? Back in September last year, a tweet about the Football World Cup managed to find a place on thousands of timelines. It read, "If you get your missus pregnant now, then by the time it's born in 9 months, you get a freaky little 2 weeks paternity leave for World Cup 2018. As far-fetched as that plan may sound, it isn't uncommon for sport lovers to plan their lives around such events. And for most of them, the annual holiday and a big sports event of the year often end up becoming the same thing. With over 1 million tourists expected to visit Russia this year, according to the Russian Deputy Prime Minister Vitaly Mutko, sports tourism, or travel that involves either observing or participating in a sports event, has become bigger than ever before. It represented an annual business of $10.47 billion in 2016, according to the National Association of Sports Commissions, and is said to be one of the fastest-growing sectors of the global travel industry. Sport versus tourism. Naturally, the trend is being reflected among Indian tourists as well, with the record number expected to visit Russia for the Football World Cup, which begins June 14. For some of them, the country would otherwise rank low on their list of must-visit destinations. But the atmosphere, with 1 million other football fans, is not one that can be easily passed up. The World Cup in Russia, for me, is a bit of both, explains Iswarup Subramanian, when asked if the sport takes precedence over the country. Experiencing the World Cup culture firsthand is the reason why I'm going to Russia. But visiting places such as Moscow, St. Petersburg and even the city of Kazan, is equally important to me, he adds. He plans to be there for the group stages of the Cup, explaining that he isn't going there to support one particular team. But for those who do, a pre-planned month-long sports event might not be the most ideal place to be. Mohammed Majid, an England and Manchester United supporter, planned his trip to South Africa for the 2010 World Cup months in advance. But when England was eliminated early on, the experience turned sour. The sport is more important than tourism. So when I plan such a trip, the dream is for England to lift the World Cup and for me to be part of that moment. When England lost out in South Africa, I lost interest. After all the effort and money you put in, you don't want to be watching matches like the US versus Ghana. The Indian Fanatic Sports, a Kolkata-based company, specializes in sports ticketing, hospitality and experiential travel to some of the world's biggest sporting events. Founded by football fan Raghav Gupta, the idea for the company came to him after he discovered how difficult it was for a fan to travel to a major sports event outside the country. After watching matches in India, a cricket fan dreams of watching the Ashes at the Lord's or a big match among 90,000 other fans at MCG, Melbourne Cricket Ground. What they do outside these stadiums comes second to them, Gupta says, adding that a majority of his customers are still cricket fans, followed closely by football supporters. For others, a sports event gives them a chance to discover experiences they never thought would be possible. Most sports, other than cricket, take just 2 or 3 hours of the day, points out Pulis Tadar, a sports commentator who has attended several tournaments. He ranks tennis and football as the two most tourist-friendly games. When you have so much free time after the games, you end up exploring the city. Instead of sitting in a hotel room, I prefer to go watch the teams practice. That's how I watched Portugal and Holland up close and got autographs signed by the teams. It's a time to discover new cultures and food too. The fish and chips in Manchester is much better than in London, argues Majid on his food discovery. It is during a Football World Cup that I got to taste snails for the first time, adds Dar. I also got to see a polar bear. I remember these just as much as the games. India as a destination. While cricket is the main attraction for tourists from other countries, India falls far behind in other sports and their tourism, says Rishi Narain, a board member of the India Golf Industry Association. Thailand has developed into a major golf tourism destination in a span of 20 years. As a country, we need to bring in tournaments and major players, because the amount of money a golf lover spends on a holiday is much more than other sports. He cites the case of a team of 20 American millionaires and golfers who recently flew into Kolkata on a private jet to participate in the iconic Royal Calcutta Golf Club. Says Narain, there's demand, and if we can build golfing infrastructure in a place like Goa, which is on the international tourist map, we can generate income that runs into hundreds of millions. Bamukherjee and violence prime accused Mal Indiqbo sent to police custody. The Pune District and Sessions Court on Thursday remanded Mal Indiqbo, prime accused in inciting the Bamukherjee riots on New Year's Day, to police custody till 19 March. Mr. Iqbo was arrested by a team of the Pune Rural Police after the Supreme Court on Wednesday had cancelled his interim bail relief. The police had requested the court for 14-day custody in order to carry out a comprehensive interrogation of the accused, said sources. The probe agencies are trying to retrieve Mr. Iqbo's mobile phone to examine his call records and determine the printing source of thousands of inflammatory pamphlets which were allegedly distributed a few days before the riots of January 1. We had petitioned the court that Mr. Iqbo be given minimum remand as he had no direct involvement in the riots, said S.K. Jain, Mr. Iqbo's counsel. Mr. Iqbo, who has been booked under various sections pertaining to rioting under the Indian Penal Code and the Prevention of Atrocities Act, was picked up from his home in the city's Shivajanagar area on Wednesday. 2 FIRs were lodged against Mr. Iqbo, who was executive president of the outfit Samasta Hindu Aghadi, and 85-year-old leader Sambhaji Bhai Baruji for allegedly orchestrating the Gurjat and Bama riots which left one person dead during the celebrations to commemorate the bicentenary of the Bamukherjee battle. The opposition Congress have accused the state government of going soft on Mr. Bhai, who is based in Sanglai, while the pro-mayor of the Sambhaji Brigade have demanded that an organolysis test be conducted on Mr. Iqbo to determine the full extent of his involvement in orchestrating the riots. The apex court quashed further extensions of Mr. Iqbo's bail relief after the state prosecutor submitted that he was not cooperating with the probe agencies. Earlier, Mr. Iqbo's anticipatory bail application was rejected by the Pune Sessions Court on January 22 and again by the Bombay High Court on February 2. Rahul Gandhi meets Sharad Pawar to put up united front against BJP, sources. Congress President Rahul Gandhi has met NCP chief Sharad Pawar to step up efforts and put up a united front against the BJP ahead of the 2019 general elections, sources said on Thursday. The meeting with the National Congress Party (NCP) leader comes amid the party's poor performance and loss in the by-polls in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Gandhi met the war last night within hours of the BJP's defeat in the Gorakhpur and Phulpur Lok Sabha by-polls in Uttar Pradesh. The meeting took place at the latter's residence, they said. It has been learned that they discussed efforts of putting up a joint opposition front against the Saffron Party, the sources in the Congress said. The meeting comes a day after APA chairperson Sonia Gandhi hosted a dinner for opposition leaders, which was attended by leaders of 20 parties including the Congress. The Congress chief is also likely to meet TMC President and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee soon. Banerjee is expected to attend a joint opposition meet being hosted by Sharad Pawar on March 28, the sources said. The call for putting up a common front by the opposition in the 2019 elections came after BJP's yesterday defeat in Gorakhpur and Phulpur, the constituencies of Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and his deputy Keshv Prasad Maurya. The Congress, which had also contested the by-polls independently and had not supported the SP-BSP combine, drew a drubbing after both its candidates lost their security deposits. Gandhi also highlighted the contribution of BSP founder Kanchi Ram today and lauded his efforts in bringing the downtrodden and lower castes into the political mainstream. He described Ram as a social reformer on his birth anniversary. Gandhi said in making such efforts, Ram left an indelible mark in society. Woman health worker sexually assaulted in Uttar Pradesh. Several health workers staged a protest at the local police station and demanded immediate arrest of the perpetrators. A woman health worker was allegedly sexually assaulted by 3 youths when she had gone to a village here to administer polio drops, police said. The incident took place at Mansrapur village when the accredited social health activists, ASHA, worker was on duty during a local pulse polio drive, they said. A case has been registered against Sanjit, Pervez and one other, who is yet to be identified, Station House Officer KPS Shah said, adding that they are at large. They had attempted to take the woman to a house, but she was saved by locals who heard her cry for help, the officer said. Several health workers staged a protest at the local police station and demanded immediate arrest of the perpetrators. Gov discusses handing maintenance of seized properties to NBCC. NBCC, a public sector undertaking, has a specialized subsidiary to handle tasks for these kind of tasks from the government and from central PSUs. It is the sole land authorized agency for central undertakings. The government is considering handing the task of maintaining, managing and earning revenue from immovable properties attached in money laundering cases to the National Building Construction Corporation, NBCC, officials said on Thursday. The last meeting to discuss ways to better manage properties seized, frozen or confiscated under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, PMLA, including those belonging to fugitive businessmen Vijay Mallya and Nirav Modi, was held on March 13. The meeting was chaired by Finance Secretary Hasmukh Adia, officials of the Ministry of Finance, Enforcement Directorate Chief Karnal Singh and NBCC Chairman Co-Managing Director Anup Kumar Mittal. It discussed the maintenance, renting and auctioning of such properties, the sources said. The proposal to mandate NBCC to do the job was at the behest of the ED and mooted by the Finance Ministry about 6 months ago. It was felt that lack of proper maintenance led to the decay of the properties and the agency had to continuously spend on their upkeep, officials explained. As of now, the ED manages the properties confiscated by it but does not have experience in how to do so, and there is no provision under PMLA for rental to earn revenue, officials said. The proposal is to manage the seized land, which can often measure several thousand acres, as well as numerous factories, flats, buildings and shops taken over by the ED, they added. NBCC, a public sector undertaking, has a specialized subsidiary to handle tasks for these kind of tasks from the government and from central PSUs. It is the sole land-authorized agency for central undertakings. The latest discussions could pave the way for NBCC to get similar contracts from intelligence and police establishments, the sources said. The government may consider amending necessary laws to ensure better upkeep of confiscated properties, they said. We get a lot of contracts from various ministries such as Home, Finance and Defense for executing projects of national importance, but as a matter of policy do not comment on any discussions, said an NBCC spokesperson. CBI court refuses regular bail to Vikram Kothari, son. According to the prosecution, a consortium of 7 banks led by Bank of India had extended loans worth Rs 2,919 crore to Rotomac Global Private Limited from 2008 onwards. A CBI court has rejected the regular bail pleas of Rotomac Global promoter, Director Vikram Kothari and his son Rahul Kothari, in connection with the alleged Rs 3,695 crore willful loan default case. Earlier on March 7, the court had turned down Vikram's interim bail plea also. The CBI had arrested the dual accused in Delhi on February 23 and since then the accused have been in Gaol. The accused were then brought to Lucknow on transit remand after their arrest. The CBI court, on the application of Premier Agency, had on February 24 allowed their police remand for the purpose of interrogation in its custody. The CBI remand period expired on March 7, after which the judge impeached Audrey had taken him under judicial custody and sent him to Gaol. Meanwhile, both the accused moved bail pleas but the court refused them bail. The court observed that the offense was serious and the accused did not deserve bail. According to the prosecution, a consortium of 7 banks led by Bank of India had extended loans worth Rs 2,919 crore to Rotomac Global Private Limited from 2008 onwards. However, according to an FIR filed by CBI, the directors allegedly cheated the banks by diverting the raised funds in a conspiracy with unidentified bank officials. The agency has claimed that instances were found where the credit sanctioned and disbursed to the company was used for purposes other than execution of the claimed export orders. Also, citing the FIR only, prosecutor also placed a case in which the credit sanction for an export order purportedly received from Singapore for supply of wheat was diverted to another company named Bargadia Brothers Private Limited, Singapore. The CBI prosecutor further narrated another modus operandi wherein the accused would use the loans, disbursed on proposals for procurement of goods meant for exports, for undeclared purposes. In such cases, no export orders were allegedly executed by the company, the agency said. Further, it was also alleged in the FIR that most suspect transactions of the company were with the limited number of buyers, sellers, sister concerns and subsidiary companies. The FIR in the case has stated that the act of the accused amounted to misappropriation, criminal breach of trust and violation of the Foreign Exchange Management Act.